We have a friend, Monica Shirallo, and Monica was born in 1948, but she came into the Catholic Church in 1997, and she was baptized, and we are her godparents. In 1999, she was diagnosed with carcinoid syndrome. It's a type of cancer that's in the intestines, but it's not one tumor. It's spread throughout the intestines, so it's very difficult to do surgery with, to remove all of the little tumors. She did have surgery. It was unsuccessful, and they figured she'd have 6 months to live. Her daughter and husband went to Lourdes. Here you see a picture of a candlelight ceremony that at Lourdes they have processions with candles. And so she, as I said, her husband and daughter went to Lourdes and she was cured. She got out of the baths at Lourdes and she could hardly walk prior to that, and she just bounded up the steps afterwards. So she had a miraculous healing. However, the healing lasted for about 5 years. And she was in complete remission for 5 years. But then the cancer did come back. And in 2017, it was really bad, a bad crisis. And so she applied to go to Lourdes with the Order of Malta. Now, the Knights of Malta are a Catholic organization, and once a year in May, usually in May, they bring a group of people who are very ill to Lourdes, and the Knights of Malta pay for the person and a companion to go with them. It's fully paid. And so because of that, you have to apply, and they usually accept about 6 people. And so Monica was accepted. Here is a picture of her that year, 2017, with the Knights of Malta, and her companion is there too. But she is there with 5 other invalids or people who are very, very ill, usually have a death sentence. You can see her, she's being wheeled to the baths at Lourdes. Now this is one of the baths. They have quite a few of them. And the people there help the ill person go into the bath and then you bring them out. After this, Monica got another healing, a second healing at Lourdes. There she is with her companion, Mary Acosta. Now, this time, Monica had a remission for about 4 years, but then the cancer did come back, and she just passed away this last month in January. But in 1999, she was given 6 months to live, and so she lived almost 24 years. Longer with 2 healings. And even Lazarus, who Jesus raised from the dead, ultimately died. So even people who do get a cure will end up dying at some point. But this is just one example of someone we know who did have 2 complete remissions at Lourdes.
Thank you. I just want to say a couple things about Monica before we go on. First one is, what do you do with the time on earth? Father Greg Adolph, some of you know, says the question isn't whether there's life after death, it's a question of whether there's life before death. And Monica would evangelize a lot. And 2 quick stories. When she came to visit us, I think around 2018 or something like that, she came and spoke to the youth group at our parish at St. Andrew the Apostle in Sierra Vista. And people still remember it when we announced about her death. A deacon who's in charge of that said the people really remembered her. And her husband, Bob Schraller, died. And then somebody she had known decades before, when he was married to somebody else, and that wife died, reconnected. And she helped bring him back into the Catholic Church before he died as well. So it's not so much just that you're given extra time, but what you do with it, with your healings. And it applies for all the graces we have.